DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool.
Hi, Mitch Taylor.
Hi, I'm Vickie Musni.
And we are filling in for Mike Walter and Joe Bunn this week on DJNTV. And today we're talking about facing your fears.
This has been something I've been actively working on for a while now.
Facing your fears is something that I don't know if people do enough.
Not intentionally. You know, I think
that
the
makes
natural
sense.
tendency is to avoid things that make us feel uncomfortable or
I said it from the stage at Mobile Beat Las Vegas, being comfortable sucks.
except at that moment, it's comfortable, but it's not a good long-term strategy. You know, if your goal is to grow and personally or professionally, you know,
Right.
It's true for both sides of the coin.
So we're going to share a couple different ways that we have grown and by facing our fears here today on our episode. And why don't you go first, Vickie?
Okay. With a business or a personal one? Which is,
Either one, doesn't matter.
okay, we'll start business. I probably should have done the other one because actually the personal one is less vulnerable.
Do
Okay,
the personal one.
No, I'm already on it. And now I'll chicken out and not share this story if I change my mind and go a different direction.
All right.
For those of you that don't know, my main part of my business has shifted over the last 6 years. We've cut back drastically on our number of weddings and intentionally increased our trivia side of our business. My husband and I are the local affiliates for Northern Nevada for DJ Trivia, and that is the focus of our business. We currently have 21 weekly trivia game contracts, and my role in the company has been developing those. I do the things that are comfortable for me. I do the sales. I do the marketing. I do all of our, Facebook. And until recently, our Instagram, I was able to hand that over to one of my 20-something employees who's better at Instagram than I am. But I do the hiring and all of the HR stuff. But I've never liked the technical side of things. I'm not a DJ. I'm an MC. My husband handles all things technical when we do weddings. So when we do trivia, it was very natural for us to do that the same way. He loves making the playlist, and he was great with the computer. And I didn't mind being on the mic and reading the questions and explaining the rules to people. That was no problem for me. But then after a while, I just got to a point, because I'm the mom, that I didn't want to be going out in the evenings. And I had a great team. And as I got better at hiring new people, it was easier and easier for me to just be the figurehead and the office person. And I wasn't actually out hosting events for years. And this last week, or actually 2 weeks ago, I was really, okay, I'm going to work on this. And I actually made an appointment with a friend of mine who's another affiliate in a different area, and had him show me all the behind the scenes tech stuff that I was shown when I first trained 6.5 years ago. But because I don't do it, I didn't remember it. And I didn't know how to do it on my own. And I was already, Wednesday night of last week, we had a guy that was out on spring break, and my husband was going to cover his event for him. And I thought, great, I'm going to show up to that event with my husband and show him that I am ready to face my fears, and I am willing to host trivia as long as he's there with me. And that morning, one of my other employees called in sick. And I already knew that it was spring break, and a lot of people were at their college, a lot of people were gone, and I knew I was short-staffed, and I was out of options. And the only solution was my husband was going to go do one game, and I was going to have to do the other one. And it didn't go with my plan. My plan was to have him as my safety net, and I didn't get to do that. So I was kind of forced into being even braver than I wanted to be. And you know what? I went out and I hosted that event, and I had a lot of fun. And I was like, why was I so afraid of this for so long?
Yeah.
This is really silly. And then hypocritical even, that I was hiring people and having my husband train them to go out and do it. And I wasn't willing or able to learn it myself. And so again, part of it was me saying, hey, the time is now. This has been an ongoing theme in my life of facing my fears. I need to do this. And then when push came to shove, I was pushed into doing it even sooner than I really wanted to. But it was a good experience, and I'm glad that I did it, because now we have another backup host when somebody is gone. I can coach my employees better. I think it's going to make me a better boss. And I already have in a few weeks from now, we have 2 private parties that we booked on the same day. My husband booked one and I booked the other. We realized they were the same night. And so guess who's going to be hosting my friend's 50th birthday party? You know, awesome. I get to do it again. So
I'm a big proponent of the fact that you should know how to do every job in your business.
And Mitch, I've heard you say that for years, and it's always in the back of my mind going, oh, I know he's right, but I don't want to deal with that right now.
Can you say it again? Can you say it again?
No.
You can't say it again?
You were right.
Sorry. I had to get...
And I knew I needed to learn, so.
I had to get her to say that again.
But you're right. As an owner, it is important that we know how to do all of the things that we ask.
Well, and here's what drives me nuts. It's not just about the fact that you should know how to do all those jobs. Mm-hmm. I wrote about this actually in a Disc Jockey News article years ago, how I moved my business accounts from one credit union, now I'm going to get personal here, one credit union, there should be financial institution, whatever, to another one, based upon the fact that when I went to handle a transaction at the bank, and I was talking with the branch manager, he said, oh, well, I'll have to go get a teller to do that because that's not my job. And it just rubbed me the wrong way.
And I've heard you tell that story before.
And I'm like, it's just how he said it was demeaning. And while, yes, it technically is that person's job, it was how he said it that struck me. Like it was beneath him. There's nothing beneath me in our company of what we do. Like, I will go clear plates off a table at a banquet hall that doesn't have any banquet servers, which we occasionally work at places like that, where we have to break down tables for a dance floor. I will break down a table, pack up chairs, put them in a different room.
Oh, yeah.
Like, none of that
thing, I hear you.
Yeah, none of that stuff's beneath me. I'm not, well, that's not my job.
Yeah. And it wasn't that attitude. That wasn't my attitude. It was honestly.
No, I'm not saying that was your attitude at all whatsoever. I'm not. I think people take that to the extreme. You know what I mean? Oh, well, that's not my job. Get over yourself. Seriously? Yeah. So anyway, I'm ranting here.
Your turn. You share a fear that you faced in business or in life and how you overcame it and what people might be able to learn from that lesson that you faced.
Facing fears for me is huge. I think I talk about this in the Roar seminar I gave at Mobile Beat Las Vegas 3 years ago. And, you know, there's a lot of risk. There was a risk of me opening a DJ company in a town where no one knew my name. There was a risk when I left my home state of Maine and moved to work on a cruise ship at 19 and never been in an airplane before, never been to the West Coast before, never been in a cruise ship before. It had all a matter of 2 days. There was a risk in me, or a fear actually, probably what we're talking about here is fear, is not risk, but they kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, sometimes.
And, you know, I had a fear of flying all the way to Australia whenever I went to Australia to go to speak in Adelaide. Mm-hmm. And here's letting behind the curtain of Mitch Taylor, if you will. I get stir crazy on flights to Vegas and flights to Cali.
And you were talking, what, 15, 17 hours, something like that?
Yeah, versus Australia is like 17 and a half, 18 hours. From here to Cali or Vegas is like 4.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I preface that, and we actually went to Hawaii this past March as well. So before Australia, I felt that was a good prep. In my head, I'm like, even that is like, felt really, really long to me.
I should try that though. I should try planning a trip to Hawaii before I go back to Australia. I'll work on that.
It's mental. Your fear that you have about something, whatever it is that you have for a fear, it's mental. It's in your head.
Yeah.
If you get rid of the mental and fight that mental fight against what it is that's driving you batty about something or causing you concern or causing that fear, you can't you can't force yourself to think in the fear. You have to think the positive side of it. You can't think, what if I fail? You have to think, what if I succeed?
Yes. And I think you can just make a decision. Like you said, it's mental, and you can just decide, I am going to do this. I am going to face this fear. I am going to take this challenge. I am going to take this action. And I'm going to assume that it's going to be okay.
What would this look like in the positive versus the negative?
Yeah.
So facing fears is huge from a standpoint of, what's going to happen to me and what's the outcome going to be and things like that. So that's important to take into account with facing your fears, is the mental side. And most of it is mental. Although there can be a physical fear. You faced one recently.
No, I've done a couple of them recently. Yeah. You want to talk about Vegas or the one when I got home?
Oh, I guess I don't know about the one you got home, but
Oh, did I not?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
I thought I told you. Yeah.
Yes, I do.
You want to tell that story instead?
Sure. I mean, let's talk about the. I'll talk about one that's similar to your Vegas one.
Okay, go for it.
So, I have a fear of heights in a lot of ways, and I remember going ziplining in Cabo San Lucas with my wife. And not only was it ziplining, which is totally cool and a great rush if you ever get a chance to do it.
But I had been afraid of that forever.
Sure. Yeah. But not only were we ziplining, but then, oh, by the way, you're going to rappel off the face of a cliff that's 3 stories up.
Oh, my. Yeah. Before, after the zip lining? Was that
after the zip lining?
Okay.
To get down from the zip lining. So when you take that step back into nothing, sphincter factor, and oh my gosh. But again, that was a fear I overcame. Now, my wife, on the other hand, she begged to go back down the other way. We were the last 2 to go in the group.
She chose not to?
She did not go.
Yeah. I chose not to. And when we were in Vegas, Mitch was encouraging me to be brave and face my fear of heights. And I did go ziplining, but we went to Fremont Street the last night of Mobile Beat, or that afternoon, and after the show ended. And I kind of took the easy way out, though. I did the one where you were kind of sitting in the harness, not like the superhero style one. But still, it was nerve-wracking for me to actually take that first step. And then literally, I remember just soaring down the zip line above Fremont Street going, this is awesome. Like, why was I afraid? Like, this is really cool. Oh, my God, it's over already? Like, that was fun. And I'm like, how many opportunities did I miss out on because I'm afraid? And now that I've done it once, I'm like, oh, I could do ziplining anywhere and not be afraid. Next time I'm in Cabo, I might seek that out. My daughter did ziplining when she went to Costa Rica. She actually did the longest zip line in in Latin America, is in Costa Rica. And I'm like, okay, that sounds awesome. I was afraid there. I'm like, oh, I wasn't with her on that trip, but yeah, it just made be braver. Every time you do one of those things, every time you face one fear, you can look back on that as a milestone and be like, if I made it through that, I can take this challenge. I can deal with this. I can handle this because of that.
That's the point. Whatever it is in business that you're facing right now, whether it's a fear of expanding, whether it's a fear of sharing my price, whether it's a fear of, I don't know if I can work on that subwoofer. I've never opened the back of that thing up before.
Hiring new people, if you are just starting to decide if you can hire someone, that can be really scary. If you've been a solo op your whole career, trying to decide, can I trust someone else with my brand and my name? It can be terrifying. Realize
that your fear is, the vast majority of it anyways, is mental. Do your best to overcome the mental part of your fear, and the rest is a piece of cake. Or, what they say, at first you don't succeed, skydiving's not for you.
Yeah, I haven't done that fear yet.
I haven't either. Why would you jump out of a perfectly good airplane?
But I'll tell you real quick, because I did allude to this earlier. 11 years ago, Mitch, was the first time I set foot in a tattoo shop and actually looked at tattoos and was intrigued and curious. And I've always liked tattoos, like from an artistic standpoint, I've appreciated it. And what held me back was, when I looked at it, was it just a fear of, was it going to hurt? And a fear of, what if I changed my mind? But it was never like, I was just never anti-tattoo. I always did like them, but I was too afraid to get one. So literally 11 years, and I experimented with a couple of henna tattoos, went on vacation a few times. And finally, like last summer, I decided I'm going to get one. And I literally got it less than a week ago. And it was really fun. And now seriously, every time I look at it, I'm just so like, oh my gosh, I love that. I am so glad I have this design, and it's a moon with 4 stars for my kids. I love them to the moon and back, and 3 blue stars for my 3 boys, and a purple one for my daughter. And back here, you see, I absolutely love it.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Vickie's tattoo.
My first tattoo. But again, it was all about just facing my fears and telling myself, if I've done this, I can be brave. And if I've done this, then I can do this thing. And in this case, it worked out. The payoff was there. Like, I'm super, super happy with it. So
go face your fears. Yeah, be brave. Go face your fears. I'm Mitch Taylor.
I'm Vickie Musni.
That's this episode of DJNTV. Thanks for watching.
Have a good one.